Thursday. It is the 7th of January 2021, and we believe and we still proclaim that it's still the year of our Lord Jesus Christ. It is now 3 minutes after the hour of 1 p.m. And the song that we started or opened the show with, it was Phil Thompson, My Worship. Please do the right thing by going to like and share our page on Facebook. We are Agape FM, and this is Midday Talk with Luzuko. And as you know that we do this thing from Monday till Saturday from 1 p.m. And the first hour of Midday Talk with Luzuko, we try our best to get people like yourself and myself to come and sit down with us and tell us their stories and their journeys and what they do. Sometimes they're here to teach us how to do business. Sometimes they're here to share the word of God with us. Sometimes they're just telling us a story of who they are and what they've been through. And with such stories, it is our prayer that you will get something for your life, that you can add on in your journey and make your life a better, whatever you'd like to call it. Today's no different. We have someone with us who's going to be talking with us in this first hour of Midday Talk with Luzuko. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask, or if you have a comment that you'd like to give, send it through on the WhatsApp number that is 067 9944 546. 067 9944 546. If you are outside of South Africa, then the number will be +2767 9944 546. You can also visit our Facebook page, Agape FM, and then you can ask your question there. Send us a message on our Facebook page, Agape FM, and we'll read it, and then you will be answered, or we'll give a shout out, read your comment that you've given. Who are we talking to this afternoon? We are talking to an entrepreneur who's also the founder of Lungisa Stationery Distributors, also known as Office Smart. And it started trading in 2015. Doing business was a work in progress for him, but he has grown over the past 5 years to the point where he has very loyal customers who appreciate the personal attention he is able to give. So the person that we are chatting with this afternoon is Stephen Haswell. Stephen, welcome on Agape FM.
Thanks, Luzuko.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you very much, and hello to everyone listening.
Awesome. You coming from working for working for the government,
yes,
if I'm correct, and you worked for quite a number of years, and it got to a point where you had to stop working, and then it was like, I need to do something because I've been busy all my life. I need to continue being busy because no man was created to be idle. We all have to do something. So you started a business called Lungisa Stationery. Please take us through, how did you start it? How did it make sense for you to start a business like this? Because you could have started a restaurant, you could have started anything, but why did you decide, I want to start Office Smart, I want to start Lungisa Stationery?
Okay, thanks for the introduction there, Luzuko. I was a crime scene photographer and forensic field worker for 12 years in the South African Police Service. And when you're in a government job like that, you don't think about entrepreneurship. You don't think about, one day I want to open up my own business. And you doing it. I enjoyed the work that I did. It was very challenging work. But unfortunately, the challenges reached me on a personal, on an emotional level. I started having something called panic attacks, and went to my doctor, and he said to me, you're having what you've described is a panic attack. And I said to him, why would I have a panic attack? Mm-hmm. I photograph, I pick up corpses and put them in the van. I stand next to the doctor doing an autopsy. Why must I panic? And he explained the whole, the whole medical reason for it, and then started a process to actually get me through to go see a psychologist and a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist recommended to me that I leave that particular work environment, and the more I went and spoke to a psychologist, the more I realized I actually should not be doing this kind of work. So eventually was medically boarded from the police as a result of post-traumatic stress disorder, and had to I was mandated to stay at home for a year. I wasn't allowed to do anything else. And obviously, as you say, we're not made to sit at home. And, it's nice for a bit.
Yes.
But you can't do that for the rest of your life. So a friend of mine offered me work. I went and worked for ADT for a little bit. And am I allowed to give am I doing free advertising here? Am I allowed to give? Anyway, I went and worked for a security company for a bit. And then a friend of mine offered me a position at his company, which was really great because for the first time, when I left the police, you sort of, you go through a lot of emotions. I think probably one of them is that you are not good enough, that you're not worthy, that you feel like you've failed. And so my friend gave me a position at his company. I didn't know it at the time, but it was a stepping stone. I went from there to a national company, actually poached me, headhunted me.
Yes.
And opened up a branch of their company in the Eastern Cape, based here in Port Elizabeth, and I was very successful with that. That was also a great boost for me.
For you.
And then my wife had started her own business. So we're talking entrepreneurship now. She's actually the entrepreneur.
The family.
So she started an office furniture business where she manufactures office furniture and supplies chairs and anything to do with the office, really. So right from, interior design, laying the carpet, painting the walls, etc. So, whole office layouts. And she got so busy that she said to me, look, why don't you come and help me? So my wife became my boss. And at that stage, when I joined her, she was just doing office furniture and not really doing the peripherals like stationery and stuff like that. So I came from a retail business where I was supplying all the hardware stores. I'd go and replenish their stock every week. And there wasn't really any security for me in her business model as far as, if I make you a desk and you really look after it, it's going to last you for years. But I actually want to be selling all the time. So I said to her, why don't we do stationery? Let's do office equipment. And so we started doing a lot more of that. We sort of branched out. And I took that over. Even now, she will pass stationery clients rather on to me because
it's not
her head is not in stationery. Yes. Her head is in office furniture. And so after a few years of building up the stationery portfolio, let me call it that, division at her company, we ran into some what do I call it, domestic problems, if I can say. Working for your wife, it's great, but there's going to be clashes sometimes.
There's a line.
It's actually very difficult, and I probably don't have enough time to talk about it now on your show, but when you're the head of your home and then you have to transition during the day and where your wife becomes your head, it's actually quite a difficult thing. But we managed. We managed for quite a long time, but eventually I said to her, look, there's a number of reasons why the thought came to me. I believe it was a God idea, but I believe, and there were a number of reasons. So the first reason was to so that there could be separation between the husband and wife. The second reason was I also felt that by only having one business in the family, all the income was coming from a single income stream.
Yes.
And that saying, having all your eggs in one basket. So I thought, okay, well, let me see if I can now start my own company, but just with stationery. And I started off I actually registered the company already in 2011. but it was in the back of my mind.
Yes.
But then in 2015, I actually started trading for the first time, and it was quite exciting. You know, you open up the bank account, and I think you've got to put 50 rand in or something. You know, but then, you know, the first time that first payment comes into your bank account, you know, even if it is like only 100 rand or whatever, now you're trading, and so you know, it's difficult for me because I don't want to make light of what I did as a photographer. It was a very serious business. It was very challenging. But there, you might find some humor when I say my clients didn't talk back to me. you know. And so you could be very much, and my personality type, I'm very much a loner. So, you know, that sort of work suited me. I could carry on my own. I had
doing your own thing.
I had my dockets to look after, and, you know. But now I've got to start dealing with people with emotions, and you get angry if something's late or if I don't have stock of something. And so it's been a huge growth for me as a person, as an individual. And I've actually enjoyed the ride so far. And, you know, you still, even my loyal clients, sometimes I feel, you know, I don't know what more I can do to help them, and then they're still angry with me about something. But you know what? I think it's testament to the fact that they're still with me. Is and this is one of the things that both my wife and I believe in very strongly, is if you have a problem with any of the products that I supply you, I'm going to fix it for you. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it might cost me. I might lose money on the job, but at the end of the day, I'm going to walk away and you're going to be happy. And that, I think, is one of the foundational things about being an entrepreneur and being in business for yourself. You know, Port Elizabeth is a small place.
It is.
And you grow by word of mouth, you know. And if you provide an excellent service, people are going to come back, you know. So our clients are exceptionally important to us. And yeah, we just feel that if you have a request, I mean, I've been asked, I'll give you just one example because I've got many, but I've been asked, for example, and I remember I'm a stationery company, I only do stationery. For my existing clients, I will also do some office furniture. I'll rope my wife in to do that, or help me with that maybe. But I've been asked for rice. Can I supply rice? Can I supply, what do you call it, sports equipment? This was for the Department of Transport's sports teams. The Army was the one for the rice. They wanted rice. I had a client who asked me for a South African flag.
Wow.
I remember, I do stationery. But I don't want to disappoint my clients. I want to be able to, I want to be that person where if they think, if it's got anything to do with office, you know, they must think office smart. So if they want a desk fan, you know, if they want a fridge in the office, they must think, well, let me contact Stephen at Office Smart. So you know, when the lady phoned me about the flag, she said it's a taxidermy company at P. I said we urgently need a South African flag, but not one these that you buy at the robots. We want a decent one, a proper South African flag. Do you do that? So I said, yes, I do. And she said, well, she needs it by 11 o'clock. I said, give me a few minutes. So I went onto that wonderful platform called Google.
Yes.
And found a friend of mine. I didn't know it was a friend of mine at the time, but there's a place called Flags Online right here in Port Elizabeth. And it happens to be owned by a friend of mine who was going to the same church as I was at the time. So I said to him, Brett, I said, I need a flag. He says, I've got one in stock for you. I was able to deliver that flag at 10 o'clock that morning to my client. And now you must understand, my client's trust in me has just grown. Because I was able to give her something that she desperately needed. And she could have gone and Googled herself. But the thing is, I want to take the hassle out of it. You know, you've got a lot of people that are ordering the stationery, they're ordering the hand sanitizer, they're ordering ink cartridges. Most of the time, that person is the secretary of the company. And they are many times overwhelmed because they just have to do everything. And I want to take that, I want to make that burden lighter for that person in the company that's always got to, you know, look for a whole lot of things for everybody, because everyone descends on that poor person. Normally, as I say, the poor lady who's the secretary. So I want to take that away and say, look, I will do that.
Yes.
Let me take the hassle out. And if, you know, if there are products that I supply you that you're not happy with, next time let's see if we can't get a better product. I mean, just one example again is, you know, a lot of people want this glue stick, the red one. I'm not going to mention that. And you know, sometime in the beginning, I would give them alternatives because it's cheaper. And I've now learnt, you know, each client gets I build up a stock sheet for them, and I know, okay, that client is happy with the blue one, but that one definitely wants the red one. So yeah, it's about relationship at the end of the day. Relationship with your clients, building up relationship where they feel they can. I mean, I'm on holiday at the moment, but my clients have already phoned me. I've had 2 or 3 clients phone me for stuff, and I'm happy to come in and supply them and to help them because I want to be that guy.
Yes, which is amazing. I think you've answered
7
7 of my questions.
Okay.
But then, this is the advantage of dealing with people personally, because in retail we have the bricks and mortar, which is the person in contact, people meeting you, and we also have now in the 21st century, which is the online, which has made everyone lazy. I was chatting with my friend, I was like, dude, I don't see myself going to buy something like in store. I'm becoming lazy because I have my phone and I can get it. Do you get it? But then people want that touch, human touch. They want to have those conversations. But I feel and I believe that they need to work together. Some people will say that I want to stick with the building where people come in store and buy. Some will say I'm doing online because it's the fresh, it's the new that is happening. But I think that it can work together well. Do you agree with that? If you do, how do you make sure that Office Smart, you are incorporating the two? People can order your stuff online because they don't have the time to pitch at your place. And also there are those that want to see Steph and they want to chat with you about the game that happened last night. So how do you bring the two together?
Well, you see, this is very true because what happens is I will go and deliver a box of paper somewhere and half an hour later I will walk out there because we've spoken about everything from the rugby game last night to, you know, not being allowed on the beaches, etc. So yeah, you know, absolutely. It's definitely important, that one-on-one relationship with your client. And yeah, it also makes you as a supplier feel comfortable. I also know because I mean there are opposition companies out there, but I know they're not easily going to get into my client because I've got this one-on-one relationship. At the same time, I'm probably speaking to millennials right now, largely, I think. Yes. And you know, you've got to understand that the younger generation is a lot more comfortable with ordering online, buying online. I mean, Take a Lot and all those oaks. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and of course, now the food places as well, for the last few years as well, you know, also you can buy your groceries online. I've got to be so careful. I feel like I'm plugging all the different companies. I must be careful what I'm saying.
It's coming big.
Exactly. So, you know, I think that you've got to get a balance. But at the end of the day, what's going to work for me? And this is it's actually one of my goals. I wanted to do it last year already. I just, you know, it's going to cost me money, which I don't have right now to invest into it. But it's definitely something that I need to do, and that is have an online website where, you know, it's a difficult one because there are really thousands of items of stationery. So it's going to be a huge platform to build. But I really want to give that to my clients to be able to do that. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be the one delivering it. So I think that's where I can meet that sort of gap.
Yeah.
But I would like to be able to, put that platform, give that platform to my clients. Say, guys, order your stationery. There you go, and they can order it. It can come through to me as I don't know, maybe as an email or however it's going to work. I fill the order, but then I deliver it as well. And I think I do all my own deliveries.
By yourself?
By myself, yeah.
Doesn't that when you get home, they want to play, and you're like, guys, I'm just coming from 10 deliveries today.
Well, no, because not at this stage.
Okay.
Because the business is growing. It's going to get to a place where definitely I'm going to need to get a driver.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. But at this stage, I'm small enough still to be able to do the deliveries myself, and then have that contact with my client. And I'm not quite sure how that will work.
Yes.
If I get too big, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Which you will in the future.
Absolutely.
Yes. And one thing that I like that you mentioned is that you are doing your things yourself.
Yeah.
Now the entrepreneurial talk is a big thing. Everyone, start your business, do your thing. And once someone talks about it, it's like, I'm the boss. I need to hire people. And that's where a lot of people make a mistake, because you are starting a business, you don't have enough funds to hire 10 people to do your deliveries, to do paperwork, to do all of that stuff. And so if you can help, maybe there's a listener, they have an idea thinking that once I'm a businessman, next month I'm hiring a lot of people. And it might not be true. For a number of years, they might have to do everything by themselves.
Well, absolutely. The thing is, my business is relatively young. I mean, I've been going for 5 years now.
5 years.
And I think what we've got to understand, we do all understand that when you build a house, you start at the foundation.
Sure.
So you dig first, and then when the foundation, once the inspectors come and he said, okay, your hole is the right size, it's according to the plans, then you can start putting the cement in.
Yes.
Then you start doing, and then they start doing it course by course. You start building up to window height and then up to roof height. So it takes time, So, and that initial graft, you've got to do it yourself. The thing is, for me, I believe that God gives us a vision and gives us ideas. So the vision that I have for Office Smart, I believe is God given. God didn't give it to you, Luzika.
Yes, Luzuko.
Yes. What's you, John?
John.
God gave it to me.
Yes.
So I had that idea in the beginning. I'm going to hire someone to go be my rep, and but God's got to. It's like that vision has got to. What is the word? It's when a chick is developing in the egg. There's an English word for that. I can't think of it right now. But it's busy growing, and you've got to be part of that. You will get to the place where, and you'll know when it's the right time. Okay, now's the time to start getting someone else. But you've got to drive that vision yourself.
It's like your baby that you've just given birth to.
That's the incubation period that I was thinking of. So yes, while it's incubating, that's in your heart. You've got to, and it's very important that, because there you are laying ideas and principles and foundations for what your business is going to look like in 10 years from now. So it is very important to, I think, hold that vision close to your heart before you just start sharing it and sharing even the responsibilities with other people. I know intimately right now how my business works. I know what is wrong with it, because there are things wrong with it, but I know what's right with it. So but at the right time, definitely we will expand, and my dream is to not just have one, but to
have a lot,
but to have branches.
Awesome. And I like that you said that you know what is right. A lot of people, they kill themselves because they're too hard on themselves. They always look at the negative, what they're doing wrong, but you know what is right about your business. If looking back when you started, what's the one thing? Let's say now you're giving advice to your daughter that wants to start their own business. What's the one thing that you wish someone had told you about starting your own business or running your own business that you now know, but you wish someone had told you in the first few months?
Oh, that's one of those questions I've got to think about. You took me a bit by surprise there. But in fact, I can't think offhand, but what I can say is that a lot of people did say to me, is that it's hard work. And, you know, you hear people say that, but you don't really know what they're talking about. You know, someone says, oh, that's hard work, you know, especially for someone like me that come out of a government service,
So, yeah.
you just get your salary every month, you know, and they say, yo, I haven't worked so hard my whole life, you know, now that I'm working for myself. And you hear that, and you suppose it must be true until you start your own business, and then you realize, okay, it is true. So yeah, you know, I've been phoned at home after hours.
I was gonna say that you don't have working hours.
Yeah, so you know, you take your laptop home at night, maybe after supper, you just go sit down, check emails quickly, and there's somebody wants something from you, and yeah, so yeah, I can't really answer your question as far as you know, something that I wish I'd known.
Okay.
But I can tell you that whoever says that it's hard work, it is hard work. But you know, I think the important thing to realize is that, you know, ideas and visions and things don't just pop into our heads. I think I believe in my heart, I believe they're inspired by God, and I think you've got to always bear that in mind, because you know the days are going to get dark. There are days where you're going to think, you know what, why did I even do this? Why did I start? Let me just close this. You know, it's causing me more stress now, and I'm so busy, and you know, and you've always got to go back to where did your vision for this come from? You know, because I mean, you look if you go look in Genesis, right in Genesis, God put Adam in the garden to do what? To work. You can go read it. It's there. I don't have the scripture reference for you right now, but God gave us the commandment to work. To work, yes. So you know, I think it's something that you've always got to. You know, when it's whether it's up or down. You know, sometimes your clients haven't paid you by the 10th of the month already, and you know there's bills to pay, etc., etc. You've always got to remember, you know, and I think that's one of those foundational things. You know, we spoke about the foundation early on, and it's one of those foundational things when you're starting a business, and that is that this is something that God has birthed in you, and He is going to see it through with you. You know, and you've got to hold on to that, even sometimes when the money's tight or whatever.
The budget must
exactly
squeeze things in.
Yeah.
But with that being said, what are you most happy about when you look at this, your baby? Because it is your child.
Yeah, look, I'm a creative person. I'm actually a musician.
Okay.
And actually piano. I know I sent you a photograph with a guitar in it, but I'm actually a pianist. The others are, you know, jack of all trades, master of none. So I focus on the
perfecting this one talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm creative. I mean, even when I was in the police and I was doing photography, the whole photography side, you know, it's a creative medium. Yeah. So for me to start a business, I designed my own logo. You know, came up with a name. So it's a creative thing for me. So I can look back at Office Smart now, after 5 years, and it's something that I can take a great pleasure in. You know, as I said, it's not always a rosy road, but Office Smart has been able to support my family and I to a small degree.
Yeah.
And hopefully this year I'm going to expand it. I've got some nice ideas. if I can maybe just give a warning for entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs, I think a lot of they sometimes very they go getters and stuff, but
Glamorous.
but there are times where I don't know if you or you'll know the word procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of my problems, and it's a personality flaw that I have. So I've got some plans for this year where I've targeted specific businesses, and I should have done it 4 or 5 years ago when I started with it, and I haven't. It's taken me 5 years to get to this point, and it's a learning curve. It's it's almost like I got a revelation in December. Oh, why didn't I do this? And I think, like, why didn't I do that 5 years ago? But anyway, I think you can't just start a business and then leave it. You've got to constantly have plans. So I spoke about an online ordering system for Office Smart. That's something I'd like to look at again this year. I looked at it last year. I'd like to look at that again this year. And then also targeting specific people. And then, again, I told you earlier on, I'm a bit of a loner. So, I love my clients, though. I love the one-on-one with them. I love chatting to them. But actually walking into a business, that I procrastinate as far as that, because it scares me. But you've got to get over that. You've got to get over that and walk in and sell yourself. So you've got to have a vision for where you are going. For 2 or 3 years, I stagnated. I had my certain amount of clients, and I was happy with them, happy to service them, and but you've got to keep on growing. You've got to. Your vision has got to be what's next. What's next? What's next? You cannot leave something to be stagnant.
True.
Like that. You're not going to get anywhere.
That's even nature. What doesn't grow dies.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
That's really how it is. Stephen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
It has been real. Like, it's one of those master classes where if someone wants to start a business and they want honest answers, because sometimes you go for a business class and they are saying things and you're like, okay, wait, come back, come to my level. How do I practically do this? And you've shared with us your flaws. It's like you procrastinate, and these are things that people who want to start business deal with. They want to start, but they're like, I'm going to start next week. And then next week comes like, no, wait, I still have to create my logo and things like that. So it has been real. Now we know we relate. And this is what we want. We want people that we can see ourselves in them here, Midday Talk with Lungisa. So thank you so much for your time.
Thanks very much.
Awesome. And I want to say thank you also to the listeners of Midday.